Right, on Tuesday last week, we did the same part with the first one, identifying the coordinating conjunctions. Remember, the acronym you want to always keep in your mind is fanboys. So, Tommy, what are the first two? F and A? For, and, nor,
or, yet, so,
not yet. Now, ask yourself, can I remember these if I don't have the acronym spelled out for me? So say you were to have 7 blanks and it was fill in the coordinating conjunctions, would you be able to remember what those are? You should be able to say yes because you would just keep fanboys in your mind, but make sure you're not reliant upon that first letter to let you know what that coordinating conjunction would be. That would be an official hint for tomorrow. For this part, identify at least 3 subordinating conjunctions. Remember, there are multiple ones that you could certainly use. So you could be, if you were not sure what some subordinating conjunctions were, you could certainly take a look down at the first couple sentences and start to see some. You have a subordinating conjunction in number 11. That one is after. What do you have in number 12?
because.
You have because. So if you do have a little bit of a mind cramp where you can't start thinking of what they would be, I would look through some sentences to see what you can start to locate so far as subordinating conjunctions. After, because, what would be some other options, whether they're in sentences or not?
Although.
Although would be one.
Yeah.
Therefore, however, until,
henceforth.
Unless.
I'm convinced that Cleveland has
you got a couple
Oh,
of things
hence.
going on there. Hence is more of a transition.
Oh, fine.
But
Whereas.
you said therefore, or whereas, yeah.
I
Those
said
are all-
Boston has the worst accent.
All right, so for 11 on down here, first question is going to be, is it correct grammatically? And again, we'd be taking a look at punctuation. If it is not correct, what do we need to do to fix it? So, very first one, Ben, what are you thinking? Correct or incorrect? For number 11. Incorrect, what'd you do? So after Thanksgiving dinner, comma, I watched the football game would be the correct thing to do. Basically, the main thing that you want to take a look for, is it a simple sentence? If it's a simple sentence, the chances of you needing a comma are slim, although you could still need one because number 11 is technically a simple sentence. If it's a complex or a compound sentence, you definitely need to have a comma. This one is considered simple because you have a noun with Thanksgiving dinner, you don't have a verb. So if you were identifying is this a simple, compound, complex, you would still call this one simple, but it can still have a comma within it. All right? Number 12. Correct or incorrect? Nick, what do you think? This one needs punctuation. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it does not. It is correct. My mistake.
I was going to say, Mr. King, you're big too.
I am. Why does it not need it?
Because it's group symbol.
It's a complex,
Oh, it
but
has
you
a,
have
it has the
Thingy? Cody?
it's
independent clause followed by a dependent
Dependent
clause.
clause.
If independent's going first, it does not need to have the comma.
Independence Day.
How about number 13? I can go to the movies with you, but I have to bring my little brother along as well. Comma would go after you. Reason being, you have a coordinating conjunction. Comma always goes before the coordinating conjunction. The type of sentence we're dealing with here is a compound. I can go to the movies with you. I have to bring my little brother along as well. Both of those are complete sentences, independent clauses, so that's going to be compound. Even though I have a quiz tomorrow, I don't think I have to study too much. Logan, what do you think?
I said comma after tomorrow.
Yep, comma would go after tomorrow because that's your dependent clause, followed by your independent. I don't think I have to study too much. I'd still study a little bit.
Study. Everything is
I didn't see anyone get 15 right, although I didn't look at everybody's. What'd you do?
Gamma.
I guarantee it. I don't know what you did.
Comma after games.
The so is the Johnny there.
You're halfway there.
All those
After homework too.
Let's throw one after you too.
You didn't say it the first time. Don't be acting all confident and cocky.
Yes, I did.
No, he had it on the paper. I took that.
Anyone know what kind of sentence this is called?
It's complex. Simple.
Complex.
It's a compound complex.
Come on, dog. It's too easy.
I'm done.
You already know.
So if you have a compound complex, and the idea is until you finish your homework, you cannot play video games, that would be the complex part of the sentence, and then you should get started right away. The T didn't show up on here. That would be the other independent clause. There is nothing wrong with this sentence. Sometimes people go, wait a minute, you can't have that many commas in there, but you are still okay with it. It is a correct sentence. It's not one that people necessarily use a lot of the time, but there's nothing wrong with it grammatically. If it was switched, you should get started right away. But you were to switch it where this is in the second part of the sentence, you would not need the comma. No, actually, you still wouldn't need it either way because of it being the complex part. Yeah. So even if you switched it, you would still end up needing that comma. But with the multiple commas, you're okay. Doesn't make it an issue. Tommy, how about 16?
Is it correct?
Yeah, that's correct. 8 o'clock, CBS tonight if you want to watch.
8 o'clock.
Rudolph.
Wait, it's not even December yet.
No, it's not.
What? It's not even Thanksgiving.
I
yet.
cannot get to the game until after 7 o'clock.
False.
Who said that?
But it's still a correct sentence at this point. You're okay. All right. Examples of simple, compound, complex sentences. George, what's a simple sentence?
So the weather outside is sunny.
The weather outside is sunny.
Where outside is
I could have disarmed it.
Simple sentence. Yes. What could we do to make this one now a compound sentence? So keep this one. The weather outside is sunny so that we don't keep rehashing sentences over and over. What could we do to switch this to make it a compound?
add a dependent clause.
Not for compound. The weather outside is sunny. So we need a comma, coordinating conjunction, then another independent clause. We
Wait,
go
what?
outside.
What did you say? Did you say what do we need to make it what?
Compound.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Add another dependent clause, right?
No.
Or another
Independent clause.
Sorry.
If we were to go with George's sentence again, the weather outside is sunny, what could we do to make it a complex sentence where independent clause is coming first? Since he gave us his simple sentence, this is going to be the independent clause.
For a compound or a complex?
So what can we do to make this one a complex?
Weather outside is sunny. I like rainbows.
No, silly boy.
So there's no clouds in the sky.
So I play outside and get tired.
So there's no clouds in the sky.
No, so it's going to be coordinating.
Oh wait, the weather outside is sunny.
Oops.
But it's,
All right, so coordinating conjunction we could have would be until the clouds arrive.
Oui.
The period is still here from George's initial sentence. That punctuation would not need to be there. You do not need a comma because you have independent clause coming first. When you switch it for your dependent clause, we could just keep the same thing. Until the clouds arrive, because you have dependent clause coming first, make sure you include that period. Then you could go, the weather is sunny.
Nah, I just, no.
Okay?
Super slow.
Dummy smacks.
21.
Flops.
Independent clause, underlining once. Dependent clause, underlining twice.
The birthday was fun.
Which one?
That's the one time. Even though my best friend was not there. Your best friend.
Okay.
She was invited to the birthday party.
22. Since yesterday was my 16th birthday,
Put up a time on that.
that's going to be 2. I can get my learner's permit. I can now get my learner's permit. It's going to be 1. Even though Black Friday is over, the stores are constantly going to be busy because it is still the holiday season.
Even though Black Friday is over, double time. The stores are constantly going to busy. It's open time.
What is it?
It's a one time.
From where?
The stores are constantly going to be busy.
Tommy, George.
And then because it is the holiday season, it's double time. Gang.
So for 23, you can't have a complex sentence with multiple dependent clauses. Just because you find one, double check, look to see if you have any subordinating clauses. At this point we have because, and then we also have even though, which lets you know there's a good chance that both of those are going to be dependent clauses. So you are going to have some underlining sentences on tomorrow's. Make sure you look at them, that you do figure out which one is going to be independent, dependent. The commas certainly help you, but just because you have one like 21 where you don't have any commas, you can still certainly have independent and dependent. Any questions or clarification?
No, thank you.
Quiz tomorrow, 30 points.